Howdy, this is Mackenzie Franklin from SideGameLLC here in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Today we're going to be taking a look at Roll for the Galaxy from Rio Grande Games and how to best organize it. Now this includes all of the expansions, content, as well as all additional promos. Without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look inside. So before we begin, let's look at the box itself. It's going to have a little bit of lid lift just because the pieces in this game are pretty dang big. So with that being said, let's take a look. Right off the bat, you can see that we have the player screens, the individual player boards, the trade board for the Rivalry expansion, I believe. We've got the player aids for Rivalry for the Orb game. We've got our Ambition, our regular rulebook, and our Rivalry rulebook, as well as the Deal game player aids. Underneath that, you can see we have the tile bag here. This is going to contain all of your worlds and your technologies. And underneath that, we have an organizer that's going to be used for the Orb game. Now, this organizer is from the Dollar Tree. You can get these for $1. They're pretty great. And it's called the Artist Container. Now, in this container, you've got all of your different organization tools here, separating them by type. So you have your shipping and your producing, level 1s, 2s, and 4s. Same thing with settle and develop, 1, 2s, and 4s. You have the economies, 1s, 2s, and 4s. And then you have your standard 2 and 1 purple actions, and then additional yellow actions here. So it's all laid out really nicely here. If you decide to play with the Orb game, you can just put that on the board. On top here, we have the player action sheets, as well as the different action reminder tiles. So these are going to be used in order to determine what phases are being used each round. Got a silica gel bag in here just to keep everything nice and dry. Don't want anything warping. Up next, in this stack, we've got all of the different goal tiles that you may use. And those just kind of stack nicely there. And right next to them, you're going to have your starting world tiles. So these are all the black back tiles. You'll be handing those out randomly to see what people start with. And likewise, next to that, we're going to have our starting development and starting world tiles. So in addition to those black tiles. So you'll have a combination of one of these and one of those. So it's nice just to have them there. They're easy to access, and that way they don't get confused with the bag either. Up next, you're going to have a large stack of cups here, and you'll have the score markers. So in here, this is a little container that you can get from the Dollar Tree, 10 for $1. Inside, you'll find all of your scoring markers, and these are the 10 points, 5s, and 1s, enough for the maximum player count. They fit really nicely in here, including the upgraded bits. And then you have a stack of cups, and in each of these cups, you're going to have the components for a starting game, and this includes the Ambition expansion already thrown in. So you've got your 5 white die, your 4 white dice, and your 1 leader die, as well as your income marker. So you just hand a cup to a player based on the color they want to play. And lastly, in this section here, you can just use a box of any type, a container to hold the dice. I like this one. It's actually from, I think, an Apple TV or something like that. But you can have all of the dice in here. That way everybody can grab them, and it's easy to see and find what you need. And there's lots of space inside, as you can see. That way you can fit these other components inside of it. So first off, you have a container that you're going to use for your markers here, for your wilds and points. So that fits really nicely just inside there. And then you have a plastic bag that's going to hold all your orbs with their starting faces if you decide to play the Orb game. And then lastly, you're going to have all of the components in a single bag if you decide to play the Deal game. So that includes all of the orange tiles, the turn order marker, and then the trading dice as well. And then your player order markers for the different colors. So that's all in there. That's in case if you want to play with one of these expansions, you can. These aren't used super often, so I do leave them in their own separate bags in case people do want to play with them. So that's super nice to have it here, and the box here that we have is just a nice container for it all. So let's go ahead and pack it up. So first thing, we'll go ahead and put that box in and shove everything in it. We'll take the large tiles and put them back here. We'll take our small tiles and put them to the side. We'll take our score tiles and put them here, or our goal tiles. We'll take the point tokens and put them in the top of this section here and slide that in like so, and it fits pretty flush there. Really nice. The next thing we'll do is we'll take the artist container and put it down here. and the tiles will go on top of that. Now when you lay down the tiles, you can kind of jostle the bag a little bit. That way things fit a little bit more flat than if they're all just bunched up. And you can use this to kind of drape over the rest of it. You'll put the silicone gel packet in the corner here, and then you'll take these tiles and you want to put it down this side. That way it fits nicely into that empty space there. And lastly, you'll take all of the flat paper components and just rest them on top like so. And that is how we organize Roll for the Galaxy. If you have any questions about what you saw here, please leave a comment. I hope some of you found this useful. Thanks so much for watching. Side Game Strong.